What's up guys, this is Tweaks here, and today I'm going to be showing you what's on my iPhone Jailbroken Edition. A lot of you guys have been asking for this for a long time, and I told you I was going to do it, and it just kind of took me a while getting around to it, but this is it. So before we get started, I just want to let you know that the wallpaper is going to be available on Twitter, so make sure you follow me on Twitter and just look through my timeline. It's going to be there. You don't have to ask me for it on Twitter. It's already there by the time this video is up. So just keep that in mind. Just look through my timeline. So the way that I'm going to be doing this video is I'm going to go into the Settings app and then go through all the tweaks that have preference panels. I'm not going to necessarily go into depth of each tweak and show you how everything's exactly set up, just because that would take an hour or more just to show all of those different settings and things like that. So I'm just going to be going through quickly all the tweaks, and then I'll go into Cydia and show you every single thing that I have installed. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's jump into our Settings app, and then we're going to scroll down to all of our tweaks. So of course right here we have Activator. Activator is a tweak that's been around for a very long time, and if you're watching this video you probably already know about Activator. It allows you to set gestures to perform a specific action. Now right below that, this is actually a preference panel for a theme, which actually doesn't have anything in there other than contact and version info, but this is just a WinterBoard theme that I have installed. This is not what I'm using right now, just keep that in mind. Right below that we have Alkaline, which actually doesn't really work too well with iOS 8. I was actually messing with this. I think maybe possibly one or two of the themes work, but it's not what I'm using right now. I just have the battery hidden right now. Right below that we have AndroidLock XT. Now this is actually a lock screen tweak. So I just have it enabled right here, and then my theme is the no theme, and the pattern, you just set your pattern right here, and then you can change the appearance as you can see right here. So if we go back to our lock screen here, and I'll be showing you exactly what I have set up on my lock screen as well, but swiping over here, this is what I have set up. This is the AndroidLock XT. So then you just swipe in your passcode right there to unlock it. So jumping back into the settings here, we're gonna go back, and Apex 2. Now I'm not actually using Apex 2 right now, but it is a really cool tweak that I use quite often. If you go in here, you can see the settings, the user guide. So this is gonna show you exactly how it works. But basically what it does is allow you to put applications behind applications. So if we swipe down on this, you can see that we can add applications right here. Now it doesn't look too great with this theme just because we have a transparent background, so they kind of overlay each other. So if I put this app behind the music app, you could actually see the app behind it, so it doesn't look too well. But if you're using another app, then this is going to be a really cool tweak to use. Right here we have Atom, which is another tweak that I'm not using right now with this particular setup, but basically it's just a lock screen launcher that allows you to launch specific and custom applications directly from the lock screen. Below that we have AutoRotate videos. This is obviously going to auto-rotate videos. Now a lot of people have been having issues with this actually working, and I myself have had some issues with it working. It works sometimes, it doesn't work other times, so it's kind of sketchy. So just keep that in mind if you end up downloading that. Here's Bolt, which is another tweak that I'm not actually using. A lot of tweaks I'm not using right now right up here. This is just allowing you to toggle off the battery percent and hide the percentage sign. Coming right back down here we have CC Clean. So this is a tweak that just came out recently that allows you to clean up your control center. So this is what my control center looks like right now. Basically where you can hide UI elements and the lines and the different sections and everything to make it look a little bit cleaner, which is what I've done right here. Coming down here we have Cheesecake, and Cheesecake just changes the animation on your device when you put your device to sleep. So you can see right here, if we go ahead and, before I actually do it, it's very, very subtle, but what it does is kind of zoom out and fade out at the exact same time. So we'll go ahead and test that out, as you can see right there, and we'll do it again right here. It's very subtle, again, like I said, but still it's a pretty cool tweak. Coming right down here we have circle icons. Circle icons is going to allow you to change out all these square icons for circle icons in the settings panel, which is what I have set up right now. We also have Cobalia, which is going to allow you to put different toggles right above your app cards in your app switcher. Now a lot of these tweaks I've already done, videos on, so I'll put links in the description below for you guys in case you want to check that out and see exactly an in-depth look at these tweaks. But Otherwise, I'm just going to go through them like I've been going through. Here we have color flow, which is a tweak that's been out for quite some time that basically just changes up the look of your music when you're playing a song. So let's just start playing some Eminem. We'll open that up. And then we'll start playing this song. Make sure we turn it down. And you can see that it just basically colorizes the music in the background right there. So of course, if we change this up and we go to a different artist with different background, throw on some Unbox Therapy, and you can see what that does, it just kind of changes it up a little bit. And here we have Confero. If you open that up, and you'll see that there's a little indicator right up there in the top right hand corner. Now if we tap on that, I actually don't have any notifications available, but if you use this and you unlock it, this is going to show you all the applications that you have right up here that have notifications. So you can just swipe through just like that, and it's going to show all the apps that have notifications, then you can manage those notifications. Right below Confero, we have Crash Reporter, which is obviously a crash reporter in case something crashes. This keeps a log of it. Right below that, we have Cylinder, which I have set up just for vertical scrolling right now. Of course, Cylinder is going to allow you to change the animation of your page scrolling in a lot of different ways. Right below that, we have Eclipse 2. That's how I'm getting this dark background for settings, as well as a whole lot of other apps. If you just go in here, just enable it, and you can disable this in the Springboard. You can use alternative mode. Then you can quit all applications. That's going to make the changes take effect, and then you'll have a dark mode on a lot of your applications. So if you go in here, you can also change up the color options, and you can tinker with the settings there. Right down here, we have Folder Enhancer, which is something that I'm actually not using right now. Below that, we have GridSwitcher, which is something I am using. So if we pull up our app switcher here, you can see that I have my GridSwitcher set up right now just by a 3x3. You can set this up to be 4x4 or however you want to set it up. If we go into the actual settings panel, you can see enable it, you can change the layout, you can center it, you can change if you want to show the icons or not, you can change the size, as well as the percentage of offset from the bottom, the drop shadow, all that good stuff. GroovyBoard is something I was using recently, but I don't have it enabled right now. You can see if you enable this, then you can actually set up a theme, which you would have to download separately. And I had the side HTML, SB-HTML installed, which basically gives me a side widget right here, but I don't have that installed right now just because it's not something that looks too great with my setup at this point. But GroovyLock is something that I'm using right now, and it is enabled. You can see I'm using the Cataracs theme. Now this is something that you're going to have to download from a particular repo, which I'll put in the description below for you guys. I think it looks really good, and you can see right here if we go back to the lock screen, and this is the Cataracs right there. So it's giving me the weather, it's giving me the time, 5:02, as well as the date right below that. So that's what the Cataracs does. Now, in order to get that blur behind Cataracs, you're actually going to have to go into the options.js in iFile to configure that. Otherwise, you won't get the blur and it'll just be clear. Right below that, we have Harbor. So Harbor is going to allow you to do some really cool things with your dock. So if we go back to our dock here, you can see as I swipe across, it's actually rising those applications, which looks really nice. You can also put as many applications as you want in the dock as well. Now you also see sometimes that my applications will bounce. I have them set to bounce like I think every minute or so, just basically saying that the application is open in the background or you have a notification. Going back here to settings, we also have Hide Me 8. So let's jump into the configuration for Hide Me 8 right here. I don't know exactly what I have set up here. I have the old bounce set up for the control center, status bar completely hidden on the lock screen, just to kind of give that more minimalistic look. I also have lost the Bluetooth icon right up there in the top right hand corner on the status bar as well. And right below that, we have Homescreen Designer. So that's what I'm using to get this layout right here. So if you want to use Homescreen Designer, if you haven't used it before, then I definitely recommend checking out my video on it, just because it's kind of a overwhelming tweak if you don't know what you're doing, but basically it allows you to change the layout however you'd like, and it does it in a pretty easy way if you know what you're doing. Right below that, we have Instagram Enhancer, which I just kind of installed. I was going to check out what it did. It basically just does a couple of things. It allows you to stay in stealth mode, which just allows you to look at direct messages and people don't know that you've actually looked at them. Coming down here, we have InstaLauncher. InstaLauncher is a really cool tweak, and what it does, as you can see right here, if I do a 3-finger pinch, you can see that it brings up InstaLauncher. So the way that I use this, in a way that's probably a good way for you guys to use this as well, is all of my applications aren't themed by Gotham, which is the theme that I'm using right here. So what I did was I hid all my other icons. So this looks more uniform, more clean, and everything. So now what I can do, if I need to get to any other icon, then I can, or application, then I can use InstaLauncher. So I have all my favorites right here, which I can just quickly tap on just like that. Otherwise, I can slide my finger down here, A, B, C, D, all the way through, and these are all in alphabetical order, and you can just quickly swipe over to an application. So let's just say I want to go into Terminal, then I would just swipe over, let go, and it's going to open up Terminal right there. So a very helpful tweak, and it just helps me keep my device looking a whole lot cleaner because I can hide all those applications but still have really quick access to them. We'll go down to LockLift, which you guys have already seen. It's right there on the lock screen. Basically has this little touch ID button, and then as I scan my finger, it'll scan and give me the Apple Pay animation. Right here we have Melodic, which will give you some other features in your music. So if we go ahead and open up our music and let's go to songs, you can see basically if we swipe across, this is going to give you some options to queue up, queue next, queue last. You can even share the music or share the song. If you just tap on this, you can share it through text message even, and the person that receives it can play it in its entirety. Back into the settings, we have Messages Customizer. So I just did a video on Messages Customizer and how I had it set up. I actually changed it up a little bit. You can see right here, if we go into our messages and then we go back, let's just go into my conversation. You can see that I've actually changed the background to my actual background, my wallpaper right there, and it's blurred. And then I also have the transparent message bubbles other than the outline bubbles that I had previously. But this can all be done right there within Messages Customizer. So definitely check that out. It's in beta. You will have to add a repo in order to get that. Right below here we have Mobius, and Mobius is a staple in all jailbreaks. What it allows you to do is just swipe to the very last page and swipe to the first page, so you don't have to go all the way through. So that's just something that's extremely helpful and totally something that Apple should implement in iOS by default. Right below that we have Multi-Icon Mover Plus, which is obviously going to allow you to quickly and easily move applications. So you just get it into wiggle mode, you tap on them, and then you can move all those applications to wherever you'd like just by hitting the home button once you're at the page that you want to move them to. Nonstop Music 8 is a tweak that basically, once you're playing music and if you respring your device while you're playing music, once your respring is complete and your device boots back up, then that music is actually going to continue directly from where it left off, which is just a nice thing, nice little feature to have. Right below that we have NoSwitchBar, and what NoSwitchBar does is basically just get rid of the status bar in all of the app cards within your app switcher. So just a really small tweak, but something that makes things look a little bit cleaner. We also have Phantom right here, which is Phantom for Snapchat, which allows you to do everything, break every single rule in Snapchat in terms of saving videos, saving photos, using photos from your library, your camera library, anything like that. Phantom is the way to go if you use Snapchat. Right here we also have PriorityHub. PriorityHub is a really cool tweak as well. If you get notifications on your lock screen, they actually organize those notifications depending on the application that they come from. So if I send myself a message, you also notice another thing right here, that the Cataracs will actually move up. So that makes it even that much better just because it gets out of the way once you get a notification. And then right here we have the PriorityHub. So when you have multiple notifications from multiple applications, then you can just tap on those and then they can come up or disappear depending on, you know, which application you're tapping on. And then right below that we have RecordTorch, and what that allows you to do is record in video mode and have the flash consistently on. And I don't use it that much, but it's always nice to have in case I do need it. RemoteMessages is a tweak that allows you to send iMessages from your PC, and I was actually thinking about doing a video on that and showing you how to set it up and everything. Let me know if you guys want to see that in the comments below. Now right down here we also have return to sender, which is another tweak that was in my last video that basically gets rid of the return button on the keyboard and creates a send button. So that's all that this tweak does. It basically just changes that up and allows you to hit the send button right down there, and it's going to send that off. We'll go here to SimpleCenters. This is another tweak that's going to allow you to customize the look and feel of your notification center as well as your control center. Coming down here we also have scrollers, and what scrollers does is allow you to tap on one side of the status bar to scroll to the top and tap on another side to go to the bottom. And this was something I was actually using quite a bit, but you can see right here that it's actually stopped working since then, which is kind of a bummer. I might have to just reinstall it and then tinker with it a little bit just to get it to work again, but it's a really cool tweak. We also have slices. Slices is going to allow you to set up separate accounts for specific applications. So for instance, if you had 2 accounts on Instagram, then when you set this up and you set up 2 accounts, when you tap on Instagram, it's going to ask you, do you want to sign in as, iTweaks, or do you want to sign in as Cody? And then you can tap on that and it's going to log you in to that specific account. So if you have multiple accounts for specific applications, then this is definitely a tweak you want to check out. Right below that we have Springtomize 3. Now I don't use Springtomize 3 for a whole lot of things. I believe I used it for, let's see, yeah, I used it for one thing right here to take away the location in my status bar. Maybe on the lock screen I hid some stuff. Yeah, the camera grabber, the control center grabber, notification center grabber. I used that for Springtomize 3, which you can get from quite a few different tweaks as well. Right here we also have type status, which had been recently updated. So just to show you guys what this looks like, you can see that it just pops up right over there, just that little overlay that says so-and-so is typing. Right below here we have wallpaper settings, which is actually a tweak that I installed to review, but it doesn't work. As you can see, if I open that up, it doesn't work. Right down here we have WidgetCenter, which I actually don't use that much. I just have it installed right now, but basically you can see if you double tap on the Touch ID, it gives you widgets down here at the bottom. So I actually had this installed because I thought it was cool, but I'm really just waiting for new widgets to be installed or to be created to use. But you can see what that does right there. Kind of makes more of a use for your reachability. Right below that, of course, I have WinterBoard because I have a WinterBoard theme installed. So if we open that up, I'll show you all the themes that I have installed. These are my Gotham themes. So if you download a Gotham theme, you're actually going to have to convert it for the iPhone 6 Plus if you have the iPhone 6 Plus. You might have to do it for the iPhone 6 as well, I'm not quite sure. But if you do have to convert it to the iPhone 6 Plus, just be sure to check out the link in the description below. I did a very thorough tutorial on how to do it, and it's very easy. You just have to download a few things, and then it basically does the entire thing for you. But scrolling through here, we also have signal text as well as Wi-Fi text. So that's what my signal is right up here, as well as Wi-Fi. So I have 1 bar in terms of cellular reception, and then right down here for Wi-Fi I have 3 out of 5 bars. Scrolling down, we also have Iris, which is a really nice theme. Right below that we have Enlightened iOS 8. Below that we have Axla 2, we have Avalon, we have Alon. This is the one with the settings panel. Right below that we have Classic Dock, we have Yume, Avalon, Amory. Amory is one I use quite often. We also have Aura, which I haven't used since iOS 8. Used it a lot in iOS 7, but not since then. But those are all the WinterBoard themes that I have installed. And then right here we have Zeppelin, which I don't really have anything set up for Zeppelin right now, but it is also something that you should definitely have, just because it's nice to have that you can throw up a little glyph right up there in between your signals up there. So now that we've gone through all the settings right there, let's go into Cydia, and I'm going to show you some of the things that don't have settings panels. One to begin with is the date and status bar. So I have the date right up there at the top, right next to the clock, and that's called date and status bar. But let's jump into settings here, and we're going to go into all of those tweaks as well. So we'll just go to installed, and then we'll start scrolling through here. And we'll see if we have anything. I do have an enemy on here, but that's not something I think you can download right now. AnyDrop is a tweak that allows you to share any type of files that you want directly through, you know, messages or mail, and it's not going to have any type of restrictions. So that's a really nice tweak to have as well. Close all is a nice tweak. It allows you to open up all of your tabs in Safari, and then if you want to close all those tabs, then you just hold down the X on any of those tabs. It's going to close all of those tabs. So that's a really nice tweak to have if you want to clear out all the tabs in Safari. DathBanner's light. That's a pretty nice tweak. It's not working incredibly well, just because what it's supposed to do is change the color of the banner to the prominent color of the application. And what it does is, it usually does that, but every once in a while it doesn't get the right color. So you'll have like a white icon with a green notification, but still it's kind of cool and it looks pretty nice. HeadsUpDisplayMode is a really cool tweak. I haven't actually used it other than testing it out, but it allows you to, as you can see, you can flip the entire screen to a mirror. So this is going to be a mirror of what your device would actually look like. And then what you would do is you would take your device, let's say if you were in Maps, and then put the phone on your dashboard, and then you can actually see the reflection in your windshield, which, I mean, it's a really cool tweak, especially for the amount of effort it takes to use it, which is really cool. We also have hidden convos. This allows you to hide your convos in your messages conversation list. So if we go into our conversation list, you can see right here, if I wanted to hide a conversation, I'll just swipe across and then tap hide, and then that hides the conversation. So that keeps it hidden from everyone. Now, if you want it to come back, you just tap edit, unhide all, and then you have the conversation back right at your fingertips. Homescreen Designer, which I talked about, iCleaner Pro, which allows you to clean out a lot of different caches and cookies, all that good stuff. Just basically frees up space on your device, so you can download that as well. iFile, of course, you need that for a lot of different things. Even for, you know, setting up Gotham like I have set up, you're gonna need iFile in order to do this. mTerminal, that's a tweak that allows you to get the terminal. That works really well if you guys use the terminal at all. I believe I talked about all this. OpenSSH, which allows you to SSH with your device, which is really helpful for me at work. Portrait wallpaper, basically, if you change the orientation of your device, it's still going to keep your wallpaper in portrait mode. So that's all that tweak does. Showcase, which is another really awesome tweak that I always have installed. It just shows the case on the keyboard depending on what you're typing. So for instance, if we were going to go into our messages here and we were going to type, you can see everything's in lowercase, but if I hit the shift key, then everything's uppercase. So that's all that Showcase does. Just a really nice tweak to have. Typing privacy is another good tweak that allows you to hide when you're typing to somebody. So usually you'll get those ellipses when somebody's typing to you. Well, if you have typing privacy, then it's not going to show those ellipses to that other person. My font is Ubuntu Light font. So that's something definitely, if you guys want to check out, you'll need to download Bitafont 2. And then you want to make sure that you're downloading the Ubuntu Light font for Bitafont 2, because it'll say right here. Otherwise, there's another one that's for Bitafont 1. So just make sure that it says Bitafont 2 right there and then install it. We also have Undim for What, which is another tweak that I was testing out. Basically undims every time that the song changes if you're playing music. You Fade Me Up, this is a tweak that I'm not actually using right now, that fades out the icon in the app switcher when you swipe up or down on the app card. And that looks like that's everything on my device. Of course, like I said previously, if you have any type of questions in terms of how setting things up, or you know, if you're having any issues whatsoever, be sure to leave a comment in the comments below. That way I can help you guys out, because some of these things are kind of advanced in order to you know, get everything set up like I have it set up. So I'll definitely be sticking around in the comments and helping you guys out. Again, if you want the wallpaper, be sure to follow me on Twitter, and I'll be sure to stick a high-res wallpaper for you guys to check out. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Of course, if you want to stay up to date with everything Apple as well as everything Jailbreak, make sure you subscribe. Alright guys, until next time, peace.